right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm actually running over to the shop to go inspect the containers that we just got delivered. I'm gonna take a peek at several things, including making sure we got the right container, since I actually missed the drop this morning. But we're gonna go over there, and our head welder Jeremy is there, and he met the containers being dropped this morning. So I'm gonna look at make sure we got the right containers. They brought the right ones. I'm gonna inspect anything we could not see on in the yard the day we purchased them, meaning, you know, exterior walls where we had to look on the inside, not the outside, so forth. See if we've got any little surprises. I'm assuming no, since I didn't get any phone calls, but we'll see. Walk you guys through what we're going to actually start doing, where we're going to make cuts, how it all shapes up, and go from there. So let's go take a peek at what we got, and let's get excited. All right, so here we are, 3 container build. 1, 2, 3. So first things first, I'm gonna walk them and reorient myself with which container's going where, so then we can actually have a game plan as to which ones we're gonna cut on first, what we're cutting on which wall. Like I explained in the last video, 2 of the 3 containers were pretty heavily used that we bought, obviously substantially cheaper, but at the same time there's a lot more damage or weathering to these containers, which for us was okay because we're cutting out 2 full sides of 2 containers, which helps us then decide which ones are going to go first. So we have 2 pretty beat up walls. Those are going away. It's not a big deal. 3rd container was a 1-trip container. That one had to be in pretty good condition on all 4 sides because we're keeping that almost completely intact, minus cutting out for a few windows, 2 for the bedroom, 1 for the bathroom. That would be this container right here. So these 2 right here are the heavily used containers, where we still have some cleanup, patching, and some prep work on those 2, but that'll be after we cut out everything we need to get rid of for our build itself. And again, this is going to be a 2-bedroom, 1-bath build and 3 boxes, so 960 square feet in total. And we've got 2 glass cube bump outs in the bedrooms that you guys are going to watch get built as well. That's going to be something that's still kind of up in here in the process of figuring out exactly how we're going to do that, but that will be 1 on each end of one of these containers, and that's all part of the process. Most of that will be prefabricated right here on site before we drive them all the way out to the mountain site itself. So let's go ahead and walk these things and see what we got. Okay, this is our good container. This is the 1-trip container. You guys can see in here, walls are in pretty decent shape. This is gonna be, sorry I have my GoPro with me again today. My other camera has failed on me, so it looks like we're purchasing another new one. Any recommendations on a good camera to use? Drop those in the comments below for me, please. That would be helpful. I'm still shopping around, so anything you guys have suggestions on a good video camera that's not a GoPro would be very beneficial, because the fisheye lens can skew a lot of things. These walls are actually in good shape, but I'm looking here and we've got a little concave convex action, which is not actually happening. Ceiling also in good shape. So this is our best container. This is the 1-trip container, as I said. Everything looks correct. It was the right container was dropped off for this one, and the other 2 as well. I verified, but we're gonna go ahead and inspect the insides of those. I've already walked the walls. You guys can see why these are cheaper than this one. So this is heavily used container number 1. You can see we've got some pretty good wear on it. Rusting definitely happening. Shout out to Brecky once again. If you're looking for containers locally here, give those guys a shout out. I'll have that information in the description below as well. Okay, so now we've got some pretty good damage to this wall. It's actually bent in a little bit. This entire wall is going to be cut out. I haven't decided yet on this one if it's going to be this wall or the other wall, so I'm going to walk down this one and see what we've got. Definitely have some waterproofing patching going on here. That's what I couldn't see in the yard. We've also got a little bit of damage down here, which I could not see in the yard, but I could see the inside. We had a little bit of dinging, denting going on this container. And then I've got some patching here. This is gonna be one side where the glass bump out comes out, so this entire wall is coming out, so I'm not concerned. Other side of this container, so far looks like it might be in a little bit better shape, but again, a lot of this is coming out. One of these containers is gonna have our 12-foot lift and slide door in it, and definitely lots of window here. We've got a giant 8.5-foot fixed piece of fixed window, picture window, and then 2 casements bordering that window on one side of one of these containers. And again, that's why I'm walking these walls. I wanna see which one can be kept out in the front and which one is going to be the one that completely gets removed, because 2 of these containers are jutting up to each other to create our living space for the actual Nook itself. This potentially could be the wall that stays. All right, so far, no surprises. And again, you can see a lot heavier damage going on here. More rusting on this wall. This may be the wall, especially since I'm seeing this as something got dragged, probably another container, they got dragged across it at some point. This may be the wall that completely comes out for this container as well. And if I remember correctly, this is the container that was actually stacked on top of the other one, so we couldn't actually walk this container. And this wall looks worse to me, so this may be the one that comes out, especially since I've got some bowing happening here. Let's go inside and take a look at this one. Okay, that door is a little trickier to get open. It's definitely got a little more action on it. Pretty bumped up. And again, you guys can see in here the same type of stuff I was seeing on the outside. It's pretty beat up, so I think it's gonna be this wall that's gonna be coming out all together. So this entire 40-foot length of corrugated sheet metal on this wall is coming down. Other than that, I don't really see any other surprises, so I think we're good. All right, so that's it. So I've inspected the containers. They're sitting oriented on site the way we want them, and I've got everything inspected, looked at. I think I'm deciphering which wall is going to come out, which side we're going to use for what per the container. So now I'm going to meet with Jeremy. We're going to kind of walk through sections we're going to start cutting, and then start our game plan for our structural plans and architectural layouts, how we're going to get going on this project. Next step is getting out those big wheels and starting to cut some stuff down. So let's get going. All right, guys, so that's it for the shipping container inspection. We are good to go. I'm gonna run back to my office. I'm gonna check on a few things. I gotta check in with the engineer, make sure he's wrapping up shortly, because obviously we're ready to go on this end for prefabrication. And then I'm gonna meet back up with master welder Jeremy, and we're gonna get going on some cuts. You guys are gonna see a little more innovative, maybe even drastically faster way of cutting these things that you probably haven't seen in any other videos on YouTube or anywhere else on the interwebs. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ding that bell for notifications, so you get to see when that next video comes out, and you get more information on how to do these things on your own if you want to. Excited for this build, so stay tuned. Hit that thumb on the way out if you like this video, and we will catch you on the next one. Until next time, guys, keep building.